They said love was blind, but for Ebuka, love made him blind to the truth that would destroy him. Ebuka was a hardworking young man in his late 20s. He sold building materials in the busy markets of Enugu and was known for his laughter, his honesty, and his dreams. He didn't have much, but what he had, he shared. When Amarachi walked into his shops one afternoon, everything changed. She was beautiful, the kind of beauty that made men forget their words. Her voice was soft, her smile gentle, and her perfume lingered even after she left. Amarachi: "Good afternoon. Please, I need roofing nails. I'm building my mother's house." Ebuka, smiling: "Ah, a strong woman. Not many ladies talk about roofing. You're impressive." They talked, they laughed, and before long, they exchanged numbers. Within months, Amarachi and Ebuka became inseparable. She visited his shop daily, cooked for him, prayed with him, and supported his dreams. Everyone said he was lucky to find a woman like her. Ebuka agreed. He used to tell his friends, "Amara is my answered prayer. I'll marry her even if the world ends tomorrow." And he did. The wedding was small but beautiful. The town rejoiced for the humble couple who looked perfect together. But from the very night they married, things began to change. Strange signs. The first night after the wedding, Ebuka woke up around 2 a.m. Amarachi wasn't beside him. He sat up, confused, and saw a faint light coming from the sitting room. When he walked quietly to the door, he saw her kneeling before a mirror, whispering to something he couldn't see. Her eyes were closed, her lips moving quickly. On the floor before her was a small clay bowl filled with red oil and white chalk. Ebuka: "Amara, what are you doing?" Amarachi, startled, smiling: "Ah, you scared me. I was praying. Just my night prayer." Ebuka, still half asleep, nodded, but he noticed the way she quickly covered the bowl with a white cloth before standing. That night, he didn't sleep again. The following week, more strange things happened. Each morning before dawn, Amarachi woke up to wash her face with water she kept hidden in a calabash. Whenever Ebuka asked, she said, "It's just tradition from my mother's people. It brings good luck to a new home." He believed her. Love made him trust too easily. But it didn't take long before everything started to fall apart. His business began to crumble. His customers disappeared. Contracts that used to come easily suddenly failed. One morning, he opened the shop to find that termites had eaten through his ledgers, receipts, and papers, something that had never happened before. Then came the nightmares. Every night, he dreamt of himself standing beside a river, while Amarachi, dressed in white, called his name from the water. Her voice sounded sweet and deadly. A charmed husband. Within months, Ibuka lost almost everything. His friends stopped visiting, his workers left. Even his laughter, the thing people loved most about him, vanished. One evening, as they ate dinner, Ibuka sighed. "Ebuka, Amara, I don't understand. Since we got married, everything's going wrong." Amarachi, smiling faintly: "Don't worry. Things will change. I'm working on something." That sentence, "I'm working on something," stayed in his head all night. The next morning, he woke up dizzy and weak. His body felt drained, as though something was slowly pulling life out of him. When he looked into the mirror, his reflection appeared pale, unfamiliar. Still, Amarachi acted calm, serving him pepper soup and smiling as if nothing was wrong. Ibuka: "Did you add anything to this soup?" "It tastes strange, Amarachi." "Ah, you worry too much. It's herbs." For strength, he forced a smile. But when he went to bed that night, he felt his chest tighten, and for the first time, fear settled deep in his heart. Something wasn't right. That night, as Ebuka struggled to sleep, he heard Amarachi's voice in the distance again, whispering softly. He followed the sound, trembling, and when he reached the door of the sitting room, he saw something that made his blood run cold. Amarachi wasn't praying. She was speaking into a black calabash, holding one of his shirts soaked in something red. Ebuka froze at the doorway. There, in the dim light of the lantern, Amarachi sat cross-legged on the floor, facing a black calabash filled with red liquid. Beside it was one of his shirts, soaked, folded, and tied with a red thread. She was chanting. Her voice was low, rhythmical, like a song from another world. Ndina Ani, accept my offering, take from him, and bless me. Ibuka's heart pounded. He tried to step back quietly, but the floor creaked beneath his feet. Amarachi turned sharply, her eyes wild and glowing like burning coals. Amarachi, Ebuka, stammering. What are you doing? What is all this? Amarachi, smiling faintly. You wouldn't understand. Go back to bed. She stood up slowly, picked up the calabash, and walked past him without another word. The house suddenly felt colder. Ebuka couldn't sleep that night. His wife, the woman he trusted, was doing something he couldn't explain. By morning, he confronted her. Ebuka, Amara, I saw everything. I saw what you were doing last night. Tell me the truth. Amarachi, calmly. It's nothing evil. I'm just trying to cleanse our home. You've been losing business, haven't you? Ebuka, then why use my shirts? Why blood? Amarachi, smiling faintly. Because you are the head of this house. What affects you affects us all. Her calmness frightened him more than anger would have. The strange sickness. Days later, Ebuka's health began to fail rapidly. He woke up weak, dizzy, and sweating every morning. His once strong body began to shrink, his eyes hollow, his laughter gone. Every night, he dreamt of rivers, dark, wide rivers with Amaraki standing across, calling softly, "Come, my husband, your time is near." He started missing work. When his mother came visiting, she was shocked to see how thin and pale he had become. Mama Ibuka, my son, what's wrong with you? Ebuka, I don't know, Mama. Maybe it's stress, but mothers always know. That night, she saw Amarachi mixing something in a small bowl, whispering as she stirred. Mama Ebuka, my daughter, what's that you're doing? Amarachi, smiling. Just medicine for his weakness. Mama Ebuka didn't believe her. She sneaked into Ebuka's room and checked under his pillow, and what she found made her scream silently. It was a small red pouch, tied with a black thread, with a note that read, "When his breath slows, your fortune grows." The revelation. The next morning, Mama Ebuka went straight to the village pastor. After prayers, the pastor said in a low voice, "Your son's wife has made a covenant. She's exchanging his life for riches. Tonight, watch closely. If she finishes that ritual, your son won't see the next sunrise." Fear gripped the old woman's heart. She returned home quietly and pretended everything was normal. That evening, Amarachi cooked a special meal, pounded yam and ensala soup, Ebuka's favorite. She smiled more than usual, but there was something in her eyes, something cold. Amarachi, my love, eat well tonight. Tomorrow, things will change for us, Ebuka. I don't even have appetite. Amarachi, just eat. You'll feel stronger. Mama Ebuka watched from the corner, her hands trembling. She didn't let her son touch the food. Instead, she poured holy water into his cup and whispered a short prayer. When Amarachi saw it, her face changed. The smile vanished, and for the first time, fear appeared in her eyes. Amarachi, Mama, what are you doing? Mama Ebuka, I'm protecting my son. Amarachi's voice grew sharp. You don't understand. They already know his name. It's too late to stop it. Mama Ebuka, who knows his name? Speak, Amara. But Amarachi suddenly went silent, tears streaming down her face. She ran out of the house into the darkness. The village rumor. By morning, Amarachi was gone. She didn't come back that day or the next. 3 days later, people in the next town reported seeing a woman in white at the old shrine near the forest, kneeling and crying before a clay idol, begging for something no one understood. Ebuka's health improved slowly, but he remained weak and haunted. At nights, he still dreamt of Amarachi's voice, whispering his name from afar. I'm sorry, but I had no choice. The truth was coming, and soon the entire village would discover what Amarachi had done, and the terrible price she had paid to buy wealth with her husband's blood. 3 nights after Amarachi ran away, a strange wind swept through Umuofia, Ebuka's hometown. Dogs barked without reason, lamps flickered, and people whispered that something evil had entered the town. At midnight, a farmer returning from a vigil claimed he saw a woman in white running toward the forest shrine, barefoot, her wrapper torn, carrying a black calabash. Everyone knew who it was. It was Amarachi. The shrine of darkness. Amarachi knelt before the shrine, tears mixing with dust. Her once beautiful face was swollen, her eyes red. Before her stood Dibyanwori, the dreaded priest who promised her wealth. Dibyanwori, you failed, Amarachi. You were warned never to let him see the ritual. Amarachi, weeping, he saw me by accident. Please give me another chance. Dibya, there's no second chance in the world of blood. The spirits already claimed him Amarachi. But he's still alive. Dibya, laughing coldly. Alive. For now. The charm was broken when his mother intervened. But that means your life is now the death. Amarachi screamed and fell to the ground. She begged for mercy, but the priest turned away. Dibya, go home, woman. When the cock crows 3 times, your shadow will no longer follow you. The last visit. At dawn, Amarachi returned home quietly. Ebuka was asleep, his mother by his side, holding a rosary. She stood at the doorway, her heart heavy with guilt. His thin body, his weak breathing, all of it was her doing. Amarachi, whispering, I didn't want to lose you. I just wanted us to have a better life. As she reached out to touch him, he opened his eyes. He saw her, tears glistening in her eyes. Ebuka, weakly, why Amara? Why me? Amarachi, sobbing, I was desperate. I thought if I could just give the gods something, we'd be rich and you never suffer again. Ebuka, and so you chose to give them me? Her sobs grew louder. She fell on her knees. Amarachi, forgive me. I didn't know it would go this far. Please forgive me, Ebuka. It's not me you need to ask. At that moment, thunder rumbled outside though the sky was clear. The candles around the room flickered, and the calabash she had left hidden under the bed cracked open on its own, spilling red liquid that began to boil like fire. Mama Ebuka, shouting, Blood of Jesus, leave this house! Amarachi screamed, clutching her chest. Her body shook violently as if something was tearing her from inside. Her eyes rolled back, and a dark shadow rose from her body, whispering in a strange tongue. Then, silence. When they opened their eyes, Amarachi lay lifeless on the floor. The red liquid had vanished. The air was calm again. The price of greed. The next day, The entire village gathered. News spread quickly. Amarachi died after confessing to using her husband for ritual. People came from neighboring towns to see for themselves. Some said they saw her spirit that night, walking toward the river, crying, "I didn't mean to do it." Ebuka slowly recovered, but his laughter never fully returned. He sold the house they lived in and moved far away with his mother. He often said, "Money from darkness only buys sorrow in daylight." The final twist. Years later, villagers claimed that on every anniversary of Amarachi's death, her old house glowed faintly with lights. And if you stood close enough, you could hear a woman's voice singing softly, the same lullaby she used to hum while cooking for Ebuka. "Love me forever, even if I'm gone." No one ever dared to enter that house again, because everyone in Umofia remembered what happened to Amarachi, the woman who used her husband for money ritual and paid with her own soul.